What's up, Radiant Icons, and welcome back to Dare to Be Iconic, the podcast made for icons daring to be themselves. I'm your host, Amanda Policelli, and happy 2025, Radiant Icons. I literally cannot believe that the new year is officially here, and what better way to kickstart 2025 than with you guys, and with a very special tea time sesh, because today's tea time sesh is all about New Year's prep and giving you a little taste of what to expect in Dare to Be Iconic's first ever masterclass on January 18th, New Year Iconic You. And yes, tickets are available in the show notes below and on daretobeiconic.com. But anywho, today's episode, I'm literally so excited to get into it because I love New Year's. I love what New Year's represents. It's this new chapter that you get to write. For a while, I did not like New Year's. It's going to be the same thing. I'm going to make resolutions and then I'm never going to see them through. It wasn't until the end of 2022, going into 2023, when I really truly saw a switch for myself and how I viewed the holiday, but then also how I viewed life. And it all comes down to setting intentions. Setting intentions is the secret to living your most iconic life because I am a firm believer that intentional actions build iconic lives. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, but also what we will be doing in New Year Iconic You Masterclass. We'll be going into it deeper in the masterclass, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of it now because why not? Right? Why not get excited for what's to come? Because 2025 is the year that we live our most iconic lives and we're doing it together. So why not start now? So, are you ready, Radiant Icons? Because your tea time sesh is starting now. So here's the thing. I never saw the purpose of New Year's. I just thought, okay, it's another day, and I kind of let the year happen to me. It wasn't until the end of 2022, going into 2023, when I truly let the year happen for me. And the key in that mindset switch for me was setting intentions. That's why I am such a firm believer in that power of intentional living because it truly changed my life. I always get asked all the time, Amanda, have you always been this positive? Absolutely not. Ask my parents, they'll tell you, hell no. But it wasn't until I truly started to retrain my brain and reframe my mindset that I started having a positive outlook on life and really noticing the world for what it is, which is this beautiful opportunity to create the life that you want. That's why 2023 onward were some of the best years of my life because it was rooted in that intentional living and the power of it. It allowed me to visualize and conceptualize what I truly wanted out of life and to fully write out the chapter that I wanted for myself. And that's what New Year's and the power of intentional living does for me solely. And that's what I found has worked for me. And so I want to share it with you guys. So the first thing is setting intentions. I know, what a shocker. It's not like I've said setting intentions multiple times during this episode. If you're of age, take a shot every time Amanda says setting intentions or intentional living. You'll be having a good time during this episode. But like truly, you guys, setting intentions or that word of the year is the first step in living your most iconic life. Setting a word of the year is the way in which I view the entire year. It's the lens in which I look at it. It's the root of every decision and scenario and choice that I make. It always comes back to that word. It always comes back to that intention. So at the end of 2022, going into 2023, my word of the year was me. Every decision I made, every choice I made, every situation and scenario, it always came back to me. What did I want to do? And truly, 2023 was the year my life changed because I was on that self discovery journey, self healing journey that got me to the idea of Dare to Be Iconic. Everything that I did in that year of 2023 came down to, what do I want to do as Amanda? It was my first time being single out of that long-term relationship and having that time and being selfish and prioritizing myself for the first time in my life. And truly, 2023 was the catalyst for everything that's happened afterward, right? So everything that I did in 2023 came back to the decision of what do I, Amanda, what do I want? If it's not something I want to do, I'm not doing it. I was very selfish that year. But also, selfishness is self care, and people don't talk about it, but it is. And 2023 was a great year. Let's talk about 2024. 2024 was the year of trust because, in order for me to honor that commitment of choosing myself that I made in 2023, I realized I needed to start trusting myself, and I had no idea where to start. As you guys know, I have a lot of trust issues. I'm the first one to admit to it. I have a lot of trust issues, not only with other people, but with myself. And in 2024, I wanted to learn how to trust myself because in order to choose myself, I need to be able to trust my decisions and I need to be able to trust my path. And if I don't have a solid foundation in that, then what the hell am I doing, right? Like, how the hell am I functioning if I can't trust myself, the universe, or others? So I needed to work on that. And every decision, and when I tell you this is true, every lesson that I learned in 2024 came down to trust. I'm not even joking you guys. Everything came down to trust. I needed to trust my path. I needed to trust myself. I needed to trust the universe. And once I realized that trust was not leaving me and I picked the right word for the year, it made it easier for me to decide what my word of the year would be for 2025. And I'm so happy to say that my word of the year for 2025 is iconic. What better way than to fully embody the essence of iconic than after I've learned how to choose myself and trust myself? And now I get to go deeper into the actual meaning of what my business is built on. Being iconic, being remarkable, being bold. What does that mean in my life? How can I embody it? How can I align my actions to live up to this lesson, to this intention, to this word? So, when it comes to choosing a word of the year, I challenge you to look back at the past year, right? What did you take from it? What did you learn? Now, going into the next year, what do you hope to gain? What do you want to focus on this year? What's one word or intention that will guide you from every decision and action that you make? And once you get to the core root of that, right, reflecting on the past year and what you hope to gain into this new year, you'll be able to narrow down what you want this year to represent, what you want this year to stand for. And if you need a little bit extra guidance when it comes to setting intentions or choosing your word of the year, make sure to check out the New Year Iconic You Masterclass. And the link for that is in the show notes below. So now that you've chosen your word of the year or set your intention, it's on to visualization. And one of my favorite visualization tools for the new year is a vision board. I know vision boards are all the rage and like everyone loves to do them and everyone has their own specific way. And that's great. But this is how you make your dreams a reality so you can live your most iconic life. It's by focusing it on or centering your word of the year around every image that you put on your vision board. Because again, your word of the year is the lens in which you view the entire year. It's the core root of every decision and action that you make. So why not align your vision board with the intention that you set? By putting them together, you're able to manifest all those dreams that you have in your heart and actually make them a reality. And one really cool thing that I love to do when it comes to my vision boards, especially for those bigger dreams that sometimes are a little bit intimidating, you need to physically see yourself accomplishing that dream. So you Photoshop yourself into it. So I made my own fake like podcast cover, I made my own fake journal cover. And you know what? This magazine right behind me, the F1 Girlies magazine, this one was for shits and giggles. I said, you know what? I think I want to be on a magazine one day. So I'm going to just trust because again, 2024 was about trust. I'm going to trust that decision. I'm going to trust that intention and everything. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I want to see myself on the cover of a magazine because little baby Amanda would be screaming. And so I photoshopped my face onto a Vogue magazine and I put that on my vision board and well, here we are. I have my podcast, I have my journal, and I was on the cover of a magazine in 2024. That is me living out my intention and making it a reality by taking it a step further and photoshopping myself onto the dream that I thought was a little intimidating and a little scary. But in order to convince yourself that you can do it, that you can make those dreams a reality, you need to see it. So why not align it with your word of the year and make them a reality. That's how you make your dreams come true in 2025. Okay. For step 3, join my New Year Iconic You Masterclass on January 18th. Now, let's get to the hotline. Hey, Amanda, I've been struggling to set clear goals for the year. How do I make sure I'm focused on the right things when it comes to setting intentions? I think when it comes to setting clear intentions, it all comes down to what are your core values? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? So, think of what makes you excited, what makes you feel alive. And when you have the answers to that, of what do you truly believe in, think of, okay, what word represents those values that I've listed out? What word aligns with the actions that I want to go into the new year? And so once you know what you stand for, you know your core values, go into that word of the year exercise of, okay, what word aligns with what I've written out? And that's how I think you set clear intentions. Hey, Amanda, I've heard about writing a letter to your future self. How do I make sure I'm writing it in a way that truly aligns with my dreams and not just in a way that feels wishful thinking? This is such a great question because this is exactly the struggle that I had when I first started using this technique. When you're writing a letter to your future self, the key is to write from this place of gratitude and accomplishment. So describe what you've done, what you've achieved, and basically the life that you've created for yourself. All right, Radiant Icons, that is your tea time sesh for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, to leave a rating, a review, a comment, tell your friends, tell anyone and everyone because we love more Radiant Icons in our iconic community of ours. But truly, guys, this episode was so much fun. It's one of my favorite things to chat about. I love New Year's and I love New Year's prep. I just think there's something so beautiful about the start of a new year because it's truly a blank slate for anything to happen. So, why not be intentional about it and build your most iconic life? Like, I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. And I hope to see you guys at Dare to Be Iconic's first ever masterclass on January 18th, New Year Iconic You. Spots are limited, so make sure to secure your spot today. It's going to be iconic, and I can't wait to start building our most iconic lives yet for 2025. But anywho, I will talk to you guys next week. Remember, Radiant Icons, dare to be iconic. Bye.